Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending this afternoon's session. So when we think about one way to access to capital, and that could be through credit. And the challenge there is that when lenders are evaluating our request for credit, they're looking for the most credit quality applicants. And so when they do that, they use both personal credit information, such as your FICO score and credit report, in addition to business information they have on you to make that determination. So your personal credit definitely plays a role whenever you're evaluating and seeking credit from a business perspective. And it's been interesting in this morning when I've had a chance to interact with several of you regarding FICO scores, credit, et cetera. There's a lot of misperceptions, so I thought I'd give the group a couple true-false question quiz. So first, is being several days late on my personal credit payments now and then okay and it won't have much impact on my score? So how many think that that's true? So most of you got an A on that one, good one. So unlike trade credit where you can be a little late, sometimes it's not a big deal. On your personal credit, especially auto loans and mortgages, if you're late, that gets reported to the Bureau and that can have a big impact on your score. Second question, commercial credit cards are not reported to the big three credit reporting agencies, meaning Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. How many think that's true? Okay, it depends. So it depends on how you contractually signed up for the card. So if you a personal guarantee versus a joint or several guarantee, as well as the lenders all have different policies on how they report. So many lenders may report just negative information on credit cards, but don't commercial credit cards, but don't report positive information. So if you're seeking a commercial credit card, you've got to remember to understand what are the rules that you're signing up for, who's signing up for it, and ask the lender if they report it to the personal credit bureaus. Carrying a lot of debt won't lower my score because I make a lot of money. How many think that's true? It's false, because your income information is not consistently or accurately reported to the credit reporting agency, so a credit score like a FICO score doesn't take into consideration the income. It's only looking at the credit debt that you have. That charged-off credit card that was the fault of my business partner, so it won't affect my score. Is that true or false? Well, it depends. It depends on how the card was signed up. So if it was signed up as a joint liability, then it could potentially impact your score. If it goes to collection or bankruptcy, it could. But generally speaking, if it's signed up only in your partner's name, then it shouldn't affect your score. True or false? Most lenders don't place a lot of weight on my personal credit information when making a small business lending decision. That's false, right? For most small business lending decisions, they do include the consumer credit report information. So why do they do that? Well, number one, it's predictive. So studies show that how you manage your personal credit is very predictive of how you're likely to manage your business credit. So that's one of the reasons lenders use FICO scores and personal credit information. Most small business owners, consumers, love credit. So Americans tend to use a lot of credit, so our files are very thick and robust. The average number of trade lines on a credit report in the U.S. is 14. So there's a lot of information to understand and glean predictive power out of when you're looking at the consumer information versus business credit. It's convenient. Lenders have access to it. They use it across all their lending decisions, so it's a nice benchmark for them. And the way they use it can differ. Sometimes they'll make their decisions based only on your consumer personal credit information. Sometimes they'll merge it and include other information, such as information from the application, financials, or your business credit if it's available. So it really depends on the lender's strategy. So when we're talking about FICO scores, which is kind of the predominant credit score out there on your consumer personal information, what kind of information is being considered? So in the score, we're looking at your consumer credit trade lines. So that's your Visas, your MasterCards, your car loan, your home equity, your credit union loans, et cetera. We're looking at inquiries. So if you've been seeking credit, and we're not counting promotional inquiries when you get the pre-approved offer. We're only looking at those inquiries where you've actually signed up and are seeking credit. We're looking at collection information, so if you've missed payments and you've gone charged off and you go to collection, that information is very predictive. And then we're looking at public record information such as bankruptcy tax liens. So how you manage your personal credit is very indicative of performance on business credit, and those are the areas we're looking at. Some of the information we're not looking at, you can read age, address, where you live, employment status, business trade credit, et cetera. This information either not reported on the credit report is inaccessible from a FCRA perspective. So we're really focusing on that raw credit report information. And when we're looking at the predictive categories, what's really driving that FICO score? And about 60% of it comes from the two categories: how you paid your bills in the past, as well as your level of what we call credit indebtedness. So it's not debt to income, but looking at your total credit. So if you use your credit cards a lot to fund some of the purchases for your business, it will have an effect on how much utilization and how indebted you look on your credit, which will have a big impact on your score. So how you pay your bills in the past and how you manage your revolving debt really factor into the model. So as you're thinking about applying for credit, it's really in your best interest to make sure that both your consumer credit report and your business credit report are active and reflective of your true behavior. And doing that before you apply for credit will put you in the best position to be potentially approved by that lender and get that access to capital through credit that you're seeking. So I'll be around after this session. If you have any questions about your own personal credit or FICO score, just seek me out and I'll be glad to help you out. Thank you.